Best bites forever.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Best Bites Forever. I'm Chef Alicia, and today is a really special video because today I'm collaborating with Albert over at Spain on a Fork. And if you happen to be coming over from his channel, bienvenidos a Best Bites Forever. I am super happy to have you here. Today I am making Leche Frita, which is a super traditional and delicious Spanish dessert. Of course, I'm going to put my own twist on it because that is how we roll over here at Best Bites Forever. And Albert is going to be making these super delicious Spanish muffins. I know that you're going to love them because everything that he does on his channel is absolutely delicious. I'm so hungry every time I go over there. So make sure that you follow the link down below over to Spain on a Fork. I know you're going to find something that you love there, and I am ready to do this video, so let's rock it out. Alright, and here I have 3/4 of a cup of cornstarch. I'm adding 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to mix those together a little bit. And then I'm going to slowly whisk in. This is 2 cups of milk. Don't want it to get clumpy, so take your time here. So once you have all of those lumps out of there, you can go ahead and start adding in the rest of your milk. You don't have to worry about going quite as slow, so there is that. Next I have 4 egg yolks, 1 whole egg, and it's time to get in a little bit of an arm workout. And if you go ahead and shake your booty, you can also get in some cardio. Put that to the side for a minute. And here I have 2 cups of milk. This is going onto the stove. I'm going to scald it. Okay, so that's going to happen. And while that is happening, here I have 12 cookies that I'm going to beat the crap out of. So I would tell you guys to go ahead and take out like all of your pent-up aggression here, but I know if I started doing that myself, I would end up choking on a cloud of Oreo dust. So I'm gonna say just go ahead and be a little bit gentle with your cookies and, you know, kind of tap them, give them a little bit of crumble going on. You don't want to be too violent with them, but you kind of want them to be the texture of like what you find in those ice cream cakes. Make sure you give them a little pat for good luck. So if you look on the edges, a little bit of bubbling going on, so we're cool here. So now I'm going to add that hot milk into our mixture that has the cornstarch and the milk and the eggs and all of that stuff inside of it. But you want to start off by adding it really, really slowly, or you're going to have scrambled eggs. So just add a little bit at a time at first until you kind of get what's in the bowl heated up, and then you can pour a little bit faster. Okay, so now that I have all of that mixed in, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put it back on the heat. I am using a clean pan, mostly because I should have started with a bigger pan. Don't be like me. Make sure you start with a big enough pan to start with. I said it, start with it twice. This is going back over here on the heat. I'm going to put it on medium, and it's going to start to thicken. And once it starts, it's going to happen really, really fast. So as soon as I notice like something sticking to my spatula from the bottom of the pan, which is going to be those eggs and the cornstarch and whatnot thickening up, as soon as I start catching something, I'm going to switch over to my whisk, and then I am going to whisk like the wind. Also, as soon as it thickens up to like this texture, which is kind of like mayonnaise-y, I'm going to turn off the heat and move it over to the side. The next thing that I want to do is add in my vanilla. And why am I adding it after I took it off of the heat? Well, simply because vanilla is pretty much all alcohol, and if you put it on there when it's on the heat, all of the yummy alcohol is going to steam out of it, and then you're not going to have any flavor. So this is totally off the heat now, and I'm adding in my cookies. This is where I definitely strayed from tradition, and I put my own little spin on it, because what's better than fried milk and cookies? Yeah, that's what I'm screaming. So I did hold a little bit back to the side there. As you can see, I'm going to use those for my garnish. Okay, so right here I have my pan. This is an 11 by 7 glass pan, and I did prepare it by spraying it with some cooking spray. You could also brush some oil into it if you wanted to do it like that. And I'm going to move my hot custard into the pan. Yes, this is a custard if you didn't happen to know that. So it's basically milk thickened with eggs. It's a custard. I'm going to begin smoothing this out, and you don't have to be like quite as OCD as me, but you can kind of tap it, shake it around if you need to, smooth it out as much as you can, and then this is going to go into the refrigerator uncovered for 4 hours. Once you get it out, we're ready to roll some cornflakes, which is super loud. I don't have these measured. This is a couple of cups of cornflakes. If you want to be more traditional about it, you're not going to use these. You're just going to use flour, but here are my little sexy cornflakes, and they're going to add a nice little crunch. That's why I'm using them instead of flour. I'm also making a quick little egg wash here. It's just 1 egg, and I didn't honestly measure, but we're going to call it a tablespoon of milk mixed in there. I'm going to set it to the side, and then I'm going to show you something that you're going to just love me for. So I have 2 sauces here that are about to happen. The one is just like a store-bought hot fudge sundae topping. You can also make ganache if you want, but what I'm showing you here is a little bowl with my little tea screen, and we're gonna make like the easiest sauce in the world, but not until we cut this and get it ready, and I'll explain why in a minute. So this has been in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and the amount of servings and, you know, so forth, the shape is going to be depending upon you, but I kind of have my plate up in mind already, so I am going by that. But a little tip for you here, if you just kind of dip your knife into water like so, like you see me doing, it's going to keep it from dragging along the custard, so it's not going to give you like ugly edges. You're going to have really nice, smooth, clean edges, which, ta-da! See how nice and beautiful and smooth that edge is? Use just a tiny bit of water on the knife and you're going to have the same result. Put those back in the fridge for a minute, okay? Because they need to stay cold. But meanwhile, here's the awesome trick that you're going to love me for, which is what I have in the bowl here is not sauce. In fact, it's actually jelly. So in this case, it happens to be raspberry jelly because I didn't have strawberry, because I'm going to use strawberries in my garnish. But I have my raspberry jelly, and I heated it in the microwave for 30 seconds, took it out, stirred it, put it in there for another 20 seconds, took it out, stirred it, and it's like molten lava right now. It is super stupid hot, so be really careful. But if you strain it into another little bowl, you get this like really cool sauce, right? So now I have this really beautiful colored sauce that looks like I actually pureed strawberries and did the whole works, but I didn't. It is my like cheater beautiful strawberry sauce that is going to be going onto my plate. And then I have my hot fudge topping, which I'm just going to kind of spatter around on here. Keep in mind, we haven't actually fried our leche frita yet, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting my sauces, I am putting my sauces onto my plates to start off, and I'm kind of trying out a couple of different plate ups just to see what makes me happy, but I don't want to fry them until the very last minute because I want to serve them pretty much still hot. So here I have my little setup. I have my little milk custard, my eggs, my cornflakes. I have my little bit left over of Oreos and my hot oil. So I am ready to go here. Okay, so listen close. Can you hear that really high-pitched little tss? That is the sound of that little toothpick frying and letting me know that my oil is hot enough to go ahead and start putting my little custards into it. So you can see down in the bottom corner, sorry because it's not on camera great, but I was just kind of moving it around in my egg wash. And then I'm going to put it into the cornflakes. Again, if you want to be traditional, just use flour instead of the cornflakes. But if you are using the cornflakes, make sure that you're pushing down on them and like kind of pushing them in like you're doing panko breadcrumbs. It's the same sort of technique. So here they are frying, and you should have that nice sound of like hands clapping, I think is the best explanation of what it should sound like. And these are going to fry for 2 to 3 minutes on each side and then come out onto this plate that has a paper towel on it. You do want to go ahead and get this plated up right away because it should be served hot. And if you get it to the plate quick enough, it is going to be like soft and warm and creamy and gooey on the inside and just absolutely fabulous, especially with that crunchy cornflake. So there it is, everyone. Hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you loved it. I know that fried milk was so delicious. and my husband is getting home. I can hear him coming in. So I want to tell you really quickly to make sure that you go over and see Albert over at Spain on a Fork. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do it now. And there is my handsome husband. Come here, silly goose. Yay. Yay. Hi. Okay. I got all distracted. Now I said hi instead of bye. All right, everybody, I'm leaving because, yeah, it's date night. So later, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.
BackBitesForever.com.
I had a shot of vodka.